no constitutional issue here. The command of the Constitution is plain. There is no moral issue. It is wrong, deadly wrong, to deny any of your fellow Americans the right to vote in this country.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Inside Texas with Mitch and Jeff. Now, Mitch is out on assignment. Let me get my microphone working. You know, I gotta get this sometime fixed thing. There we go. As long as I don't touch the microphone, I'm okay. You know, I won't touch it no more. I promise. I gotta touch it.
You touched
it.
I
just touch it. Joining me tonight, you know him, you love him, you can't live without him. There's our friend Hunter Kennedy is joining us here. How you doing, Hunter?
Pretty good.
From All Pro Claim Services.
That's me.
I got it memorized. I'm a little tired today. I've been up since 4 o'clock. You know, we got that new deli thing going on
Down in Wadsworth,
Texas. Now I'm telling you what, gang, if you want good food and you want something different, I'm not saying there's a lot of places that sell a lot of good food. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I have the best food in the world, but I have different food, spicy, and I'm telling you, you know, we got. I got that doggone chicken sandwich with the
mango habanero chicken sandwich.
Yeah, the mango habanero chicken sandwich, and everybody that's eaten this so far is going, oh my God, that is something else. And the other thing I'm going to be doing, and you had one today. What is it?
The Philly cheesesteak.
The real
world famous
Jeff Michaels Philly cheesesteak. We're going to have that as well. So we got a lot of stuff going on. If you want to visit us, you can come down and join us to that one won't do it. That one's fixed.
Heard.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't touch the microphones. They go ballistically nuts anyway. But if you want to visit us, come down to the Corner Deli and Taqueria in Wadsworth, Texas. It's inside the Citgo gas station. And if you never had gas station food, a lot of people say, you know, I go in a gas station and I had this food. It's gas station food. That's what they call it. You know, quick run and go. Our stuff is really good, and we really want you to try it. Make sure you like our page at Wadsworth Corner Deli. You can try that. I don't know why I couldn't get Corner Deli and Taqueria on Facebook. It just didn't work. But Wadsworth Corner Deli, you know, like that page. But you can go at Wadsworth Corner Deli, and believe it or not, it comes up Corner Deli and Taqueria. I don't know why.
Well, I've ate there 76 times in the 2 days they've been open, and I haven't had hard
3 days.
biscuits.
The 3 days we've been open.
3 days.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today. So,
no hard biscuits.
No hard biscuits. No breakfast. We're open up at 5:30. We go to about 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. We're talking about doing some nighttime food as well, and we'll have a good time. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on. We'll bring it up, okay? But anyway, we got a couple things lined up for you while Mitch is out tonight, and I want to thank Hunter for joining us tonight. But first of all, we're going to hear. I talked about last week. I talked about the tornadoes that went through and helping some folks up there in Madisonville. Now, some of you know that I had a show up there in Madisonville. I had a morning show. I did a drive show. Did all kinds of stuff. In Madisonville, at a station called KUZN, your country cousin. It's since been sold. It was sold to the Alleluia Network. And I don't even know if they have the tower anymore or not. I don't know what's going on. But we had a great time. And one of the reasons I had a great time is because of Red's Barbershop. All right. So earlier this week, I got to interview Red and Matt Paez, Eduardo Red Paez, and Matt Paez, who own Red's Barbershop. And when the tornadoes went through Madisonville right there, it just tore it up. It tore up the Sunshine Center, the retirement home in the back. There was a veterinary clinic back there, and it tore up Reds. It totally demolished the building. And I set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know if people saw that on my Facebook, but you can look up Jeff Michaels on Facebook. And I sent it to a couple different places. But if you could send $1, $2, $3, this is the total loss for them, and insurance does not cover everything, especially in the state of Texas when this deal is going on. But we're looking at just for one of those, the chairs that you sit in to, they need
hydraulic chairs.
The hydraulic chair things. They're called Belmont barber chairs. Okay, and they need 6 of them for inside there because they have a couple people working and stuff like that. But they run $17,520 for chairs. For a chair, the insurance company doesn't cover all this stuff. They need floor mats, back bar, workbench, back bar. Yeah, work. He put bench. He spelled bench. I got to talk to Maddie and bench. I know what it is. A tool sterilization box, Scoutmaster leatherizer, because they actually still use the straight razors and stuff like that. Black shampoo bowl. They'd like to get the old barber pole back if anybody has one of those. The Barbicide jars, where you have the combs and stuff in it. Yeah. Shampoo chair. That's one where it reclines back and you feel like your back is going to break, that one. And 20 waiting chairs. Okay. So mirrors, Red's barbershop sign. Anything you can help with for these folks would be greatly appreciated. We'll start with Red's. Red's done so much stuff for the community and has helped the community up there. And many times before, when kids come in for donations, always giving donations or whatever they need, Sunshine Center. So we're going to take this money. We raise, we're going to want to give a portion to Red's and to help out that community up there, because it's a small community. It's not very big, but it's in Madison County. Up above Navasota, up above Huntsville, before you get into Centerville and all that other stuff. So we're going to be talking to them in a little bit. I had they came down and visit us, and you were there.
Right.
They came down and visit us Sunday. It was Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Sunday. It was a Sunday, yeah. So we're going to talk to them in a little bit. And also we're going to hear from somebody from the Sargent Fire Department in a little bit. They got their fundraiser going on. We're going to talk a little bit about news, some of the big news that's going on in Texas right now, and it's about the Meta company. You know what the Meta company is?
Facebook.
There you go.
Instagram.
All of those. So they're planning on building a $800 million new data center in fast-growing Temple, Texas, which is not that far away from here either. Near Waco. So 900,000 square foot project will create 100 jobs. Now, a place that big
only creates
100 jobs, the company said Thursday. Construction is expected to begin in spring at a 393-acre site off of NW and HK Dodgen Loop in Industrial Boulevard. At peak of construction, the project will employ 1,250 workers. So you're better off being a construction worker
than a data worker for Facebook.
Yeah, don't be a data worker for Facebook, man. It ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna work. But anyway, so that is a huge project. Meta expects the data center to begin operating in 2024 in only 2 years. The data center is intended to help support all of Meta's apps and services, including Facebook, WhatsApp. I didn't know they did WhatsApp.
Yep.
Instagram, MetaQuest. You ever hear MetaQuest?
I have not.
What the hell is MetaQuest?
Sounds like something in a business.
The company will also it says the company will also use the center to accommodate the growing number of photos and videos being shared. So what we're doing today, pretty much, Katie Corner, community development and regional manager at Meta, said Temple offers established infrastructure, a strong talent pool, and supportive community partners. Man, I wish Bay City could be that.
Right.
I'm gonna call Zuckerberg up there in that Meta. See if he can't come down and join us.
Come down and join us on the show, Mark, if you're listening.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg or whatever your name is. Mark Whataburger.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. There ain't no way he's coming down and beating a bunch of schleps like us. I'm telling you that right now. But anyway, that's a huge project that's coming to Texas, going to bring more money. You see this more and more all the time now. You see more bigger businesses, after this free trade stuff, or moving over countries to, let's move to Mexico. The labor's cheaper there and stuff like that. Right. Well, I think those guys are getting a little pressure on them anymore. You're going to move over there? Oh, sure. I remember, and I talked about this before, I remember living in Allentown, Pennsylvania. That is the home of Mack trucks. Right. And if you go there now, it's the death of Mack trucks. You see skeletons all over the place. that was such a big plant. You had the separation for just the wheel part, the body part, the chassis part, the paint the part. It was huge, miles and miles long, and it's vacant. And a lot of the places they turned into, what do you call it? They turned into like condos and apartments and stuff like that. It just, you hate to see that when a big company moved, and they moved to South Carolina where there was no union for some reason or other.
A lot of companies, when employees try to unionize, they'll close it down. I don't know if you know, Walmart used to have butcher shops. That's why they don't have them anymore. The workers unionized.
Really?
The butchers.
Oh, wow. The butchers unionized. Ain't that something else? That's great. Anyway, didn't that happen at some other place, too? I'm trying to remember what it was, but I don't remember. There was another place for that. So, what else is going on? Oh, at the Chamber of Commerce here in Bay City, Texas, coming up in April the 21st from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a chamber luncheon. I want to remind everybody of that. The Bay City Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture will host chamber luncheon and learn with Texas State Comptroller Glenn Hager, who's been in since 2014. He is going to be the speaker there. So if you want to hear from the comptroller's office, that's good. What does a comptroller do?
The comptroller makes sure comes pull the taxes out of your drawer.
There you go. He's a tax man.
If I remember correctly from last show, the comptroller is going to be going over the new office that's going in underneath them. So
yeah, there's a couple of things he's going to be talking about. The state's treasurer, check writer, tax collector. He's all of the above. So I need to talk to him.
Yeah, I need to talk to him. Make sure he brings his checkbook.
Bring your checkbook.
To the luncheon.
Bring your checkbook there, Mr. Hager. Bring it along with you. So if you'd like to join us for that, I believe I was planning on going to that. I don't know if I can now because it's the business. But if you'd like to go to that, contact Mitch or anybody. What's it? God, she's going to hit me in the head if I.
Anybody at the Bay City Chamber
there you
of
go.
Commerce?
Thanks for covering for me. I appreciate that. Anybody over at the Bay City Chamber of Commerce, so make sure you check that out. That's coming up. One thing I want to talk about that's going on in Bay City, which I've noticed, and a lot of people, and it was a big complaint for a little while. Probably not the biggest complaint, but they're remarking the parking spots now around the square. And I don't know if anybody's oh, by the way, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to on the show and talk about something, or if you have a question about something, or you want to gripe about something, that's fine too. You're more than welcome to do that.
That number is
979-325-7016. That's right, 979-325-7016. 979-325-7016. You can also email me a question for following weeks or whatever, Jeff at
GulfCoast1Radio.com.
There you go, Jeff at GulfCoast1Radio.com. So their marketing spot, and I don't know why they haven't done this in a long time. Now, years ago, don't get me wrong, that angled parking is all great and stuff, but you're pulling out into a 4-lane highway, backing up into it, doesn't work.
Right.
Never. It will never work. Have you ever tried to
park at the courthouse?
Yeah, park at the around the courthouse.
Absolutely.
How hard was it?
It wasn't easy.
It's not easy. No, it's not easy.
And they closed the basement to the public now, so you can't go down to the basement.
Since COVID, you can't go into the basement anymore. Yeah. So, what they're doing is great. It says compact cars in there. There's not a whole lot of compact cars.
And
go ahead. What?
Who's to say they don't think their Lincoln Town Cars are compact?
Compact car, right? Exactly.
What designates it as
it's
a compact
smaller
car?
than a truck,
right? It's compact.
It's compact. It's compact. It's smaller than a truck. So, the biggest issue I see, you got a lot of tractor trailers. You got a lot of heavy traffic going back and forth on the highway there on 35. And, these big trucks, the pickup trucks, they're 4-door, 8-foot long, 8-foot long, big, sticking in the back. And you practically have to stop in order to go around it because you get someone on the other side. Yep. It's creating a lot of problems and a lot of issues.
Another question, that I have is, what are we going to do to enforce this compact car only? Are we hiring a traffic enforcement?
Maybe. I don't know.
Pennsylvania Parking Authority?
Pennsylvania Parking Authority. There you go. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to ask the questions about that. You know, I think it's a good idea for them to do that.
Right.
You know, on the side streets and stuff like that, you park the trucks, but on the main streets, let's keep the vehicles small so it's passable. It's very, very rough. You know, very, very tough to do.
Right.
What I also like to see, man, and I keep on, and I know, man, I see more people. The biggest complaint that I see on Facebook about Bay City is what you think?
Food.
No, Jesus, there's plenty of that. Golly, look at me. Look at you. Holy, look at you. he's swelling up as we're talking. No, it's the train.
Oh, the train.
Okay, so nothing about the train actually going. You got to sit and wait for the train and change. But the tracks are killing the cars, man. You know, going over those tracks. I've gone in the smaller cities, the smaller towns that have the tracks there. Now I know it's not a city issue. I know it's not. It's the rail department issue. So sometime I'd love to get on the air, the folks that are in charge of the rail company, to see what we can do to permanently fix something like that. Because I know there's cities around that put those rubber pads in, and they're there forever.
Right.
They're there forever. You know, they keep on just patching this. So hopefully one day, the 35 right there by McDonald's in Bay City. Hopefully that train doesn't have to go in that way anymore. Hopefully
Right.
that they got this plan for all this other stuff.
When I drove to that over that train track coming to the station,
Yeah.
my car disappeared for a minute when
Yeah,
it came back
to
up.
camping up, yeah, that's the way it is. Anyway, let's see what else. There was something else I was going to talk about and I can't remember. But anyway, numbers 979-325-7016. You're more than welcome to call in. Also, I want to talk to the judge again. I want to talk to him about a few years ago. I went to a dinner, a luncheon or whatever down in Palacios, and they were talking about the oyster beds. They're going to redo the oyster beds and stuff down there.
Right.
And I wanted to see the progress on that because now it's been, and when they were talking about it in 3 years, they're going to do this, and it's about 3-4 years now. And I wanted to get the progress on that. So if anybody has any information on the progress of those oyster beds, that would really, really be great. But before we take a little break here, I do want to say this. We're going to come back, and we're going to have the interview that I had with Red and Matt from up there in Madisonville. They were nice enough to come down, talk to Hunter about the insurance stuff and money and trying to get claims and, you know, letting people know how tough it is, you know, to weather out those storms. That, by the way, was an EF1 tornado of 100 to 110 mile an hour winds. And when you have a metal building or you know, a brick building with a metal roof on it, and man, that's just cause for damage,
Right.
you know? And it just happened out of nowhere. And in the story that you're going to hear, Matt, they knew the storms were going to come through. And Matt said, "Nah, it's supposed to, you know, there's supposed to be severe storms. I'm gonna sleep at the shop," because he had a little bed up in the front there, but it was right. All the glass, but the whole front end of the place was glass.
Right.
And at the last minute, his dad said, "No, we're gonna go down to
Woodlands.
the Woodlands, right? We're gonna go down to the Woodlands, and we're gonna stay down there. Come on down." And it was just hours, an hour or two before that storm came through that he left. Otherwise, he'd been sleeping there. Who knows what, you know, who knows what would happen. So we're all glad. We're all glad about that.
Before we take a break, I'd like
Go
to
ahead.
say
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, by the way, happy birthday.
thank you.
It's your birthday. Man, alive. I forgot about that.
Before we take a break, I'd like to say,
Yeah.
before a storm comes, make sure you check your policy and make sure you have coverage so you don't end up in a situation where you lose everything that you've, you know,
Yeah.
gained your whole life.
You were talking to them about a
A business owner policy,
BOP.
which should have coverage B, which covers all your contents.
Even if it's not your building.
Right. So typically you have 10% of coverage A allotted for coverage B, which is your contents. So everything that, if you were to turn that building upside down and shake it, everything that falls out, that's going to fall under coverage B, which is usually 10% of coverage A. But either way, values of homes are increasing, building supplies are increasing. So if your home's only, scheduled on the policy for $110,000, but it costs $180,000 to rebuild it right now, I would suggest, taking care of that and getting it, the policy limits up, because then, yes, you're covered for $110,000, but you are required to cover at least 80% of the value of the property on your insurance coverage, or else they will hit you with a co-insurance penalty, and you'll have to pay for 20% of what that home's value is.
Wow.
And you don't want to end up in a situation like Maddie and Red, where you don't have coverage for the items in the interior.
Right. Oh.
I'm always here.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't charge anything.
Give that number. Give me your number.
979-200.
Love how you did that.
2018.
Love how you did that little commercial going on. Yes. By the way, I want to congratulate the folks. I guess the auction out at the Matagorda County Fairgrounds this year. Auction hits 1 million mark for the first time in history. That's amazing. Congrats to those people. God, $1 million.
Right.
Send some my way. I need new shoes. Got to get them done. All right. I'll tell you what. We will come back in a minute. So keep it tuned right here to Gulf Coast One Radio and Inside Texas. Please don't go away.
Thanks for calling God's Fur Babies Mobile Pet Grooming. How can I help you?
Oh,
sure. We can get you set up for cut and shampoo right here in our mobile unit. Yes, sir. We can travel within 50 miles of Matagorda County. Nails? Sure can. We can get you all spiffed up for your big night out. Yeah, we can do kitty, but prefer to do larger animals. Kitty don't like water. God's Fur Babies Mobile Pet Grooming. Call today at 979-530-2860. That's 979-530-2860.
Your home may have damage covered under your homeowner's insurance policy. Don't trust your insurance company's opinion on what you're entitled to. Let the experts at All Pro Claim Services conduct a free, no obligation home inspection. We work for you, not the insurance company, and don't get paid unless you do. We can help even if you have been unfairly denied or underpaid. The insurance company has experts representing their best interests. Shouldn't you? Call me personally, Hunter Kennedy, at 979-200-2018. 979-200-2018.
Yeah, I gotta get that little thing fixed too, where I can go back to it. I don't think I hear it. I don't think it's a big thing, but you look like you're standing in the wind. Anyway, we got something I'm going to play right now for you all. It is the interview that I had with our friends in Madison County, Red and let me get this back up here. All right, so Red and Maddie, we had a chance to talk to them, and they're really good people, man. They are really good people and good friends. So I hate, you hate to see stuff like that. So here we go. I am going to play that interview that we had with them, and it was a great interview. We had a lot of fun, and we'll get it up. Well, I'm going to get that up there. That's what it looks like. It's a total nightmare. But we're going to show a picture as they're talking of what Red's Barbershop looks like. You may have seen it when you've been in Madisonville and don't remember it, but it's Red's Barbershop. And this is all about these guys, so take it away, guys. Welcome back, everybody, to Inside Texas with Jeff. Mitch and Jeff. We talked about this on last week's show about the events that happened in Madisonville about a week ago now. the tornadoes that went through there, and we talked about Red's Barbershop, and you all saw what I wrote on Facebook and stuff. Well, I happen to have Matt Paez here. This is Red's son from Red's Barbershop. You're the one that took over the barbershop from your dad.
That is correct.
Yes, it's correct. Mundo. And Red, your dad has a shop in Centerville, Texas, and you were supposed to move up there. You're working with him temporarily while we're trying to get the shop together. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You guys got to understand something, all right, Maddie? And I, when we did our radio show up at KUZN, your country cousin up in Madisonville, there were so many voices and so many things, and this is the first time that we actually had time together to be able to do it. So you're going to hear probably 700 different voices, and it's going to be Matt most of the time talking.
Like old times.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's like right back at it. Right back at it. Not so much equipment, though. Remember all the boards and everything we had to make stuff happen? It's like, click, it's happening. That's it.
We're in a closet right now. Where's your stuff? It's right here.
And the office isn't much bigger than a closet. Thanks, Hunter, for getting such a big closet. I really appreciate it. It's a big closet.
Technology's grown though since then.
It is. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the shop. When I found out that happened, it's almost like your home. To me, it was almost like, man, my home got ruined because I had so much good times in that shop and met more people than I think I've ever met in my life in that shop. And your dad working with me on before you even came in working with the morning show. I mean, we used to run right across the parking lot to each other. I was on a break, I'd run across the street, I'd start yelling at a state cop, come back in, whatever. That's what we did. In fact, I don't know if you remember the time, I actually got a ticket when I was trying to help a state cop. I got the ticket. Because he said I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, pulled me over right in front of you, Dad. I said, I'm going right here to, I said, what did you pulled me over for what? He goes, you weren't wearing a seatbelt. I said, well, I was trying to stop you because those people were smoking weed in their car and half their car was missing. And he goes, okay, which way did they go? I said, well, I'm not helping you now. Just give me the ticket. So he gave me the ticket. The next day, this is no kidding, the guy's getting, I don't remember this, Red, the guy's getting the shave in the barbershop. And I go, aha! You're the jerk that came in. And from that time on, it was a young guy who was new. Never heard from the guy again, but every time we run into each other, he'd say, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. One of those deals. But the people that we talk to in that shop, and it's true what they say about barbershops, a lot of business relationships are met there. With community members, community people, you get to hear every gripe. It's like a bartender almost there, but at a barbershop. You hear everything, you meet everybody. From there it was the judges, people who were running for judge, people who were running for city council, people that were everything. And you got to meet and really know these people, farmers, everything, car dealerships, people that worked at different businesses downtown. It was this, even though I was doing radio at that time already 20-some years, it was the first place that I ever went into and got more information and felt more confident about doing radio than I ever did before because I could use that. Oh, we could use these characters. You came along in about 07 over there. I got there in 05. 06, don't push it. It was 07. No, you ain't there that long. Yeah, you only been there 2 years. That's it. No, you got there 06, 07. Your dad and I were talking already right when I got there, started doing stuff, and stuff just started brewing and building and everything. And Reds came on the map even more. People were coming down there, visiting me, and then going, or visiting your dad and coming to the radio station, or vice versa. They were going back and forth. It was like a little mini highway, for everything. But it was really cool, and it was comfortable. Because if you had a problem, you can talk to that guy. Oh, that guy's getting his haircut tomorrow. We can talk to him about that. Or this is going on. And it was really, really cool. And it was where actually the real Michaels in the Morning show originated from. All the people that we talked to, Heath Nealon, the chief, just
a lot of people.
A lot of people. Yeah. And the judge, the one before Mr. Henson, the judge before Mr. Henson, I can't think. When I walked in the hallways of the county, in the county building, he would hear me down the hallway and he'd say, Michaels! If that's you, keep the noise down. Right? That's what he would yell in the doggone courthouse, And it was just fun. It was a lot of fun. And everybody knew what we were after. We were after to take care of each other in the community, how one person or one business can take care of each other. And now it's time, I feel, to step up to the plate. Red's Barbershop has been a cornerstone of Madison County. Not just the town, but Madison County, Leon County, that whole area for such a long time. And in a matter of minutes, just seconds, it's destroyed, by something that we don't have the power to control. We have the power to control our prices, who we bring in, what we do, the service we give it, but we don't have the power to control a building or a business where it can all be wiped away, where you call your home a home, like a turtle. Once it loses its shell, man, it's hard to get that. It's hard to get that shell back together, or hard to live without it. So the whole idea is, you guys. You've been doing it, like you said, since 06, 07?
I want to say half of 06, but it might be right. 07.
I think you took up a lot of. You took up room between 06 and 07.
Well, yeah,
Matty, come on. Yeah, look at you. Oh, yeah. We were both very thin guys.
Hey, speak for yourself. Right?
Hey, stop it now. Good thing I don't have the camera running right now on you, right? So the whole thing is, there's things you need in order to be replaced. There's help that people should, that I know that can help, that really need to, because they, regardless if you went there to get your hair cut or not, it's a cornerstone of America. It's a cornerstone of society. It's a cornerstone of togetherness, and that's what Red's Barbershop always meant to me. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that the business is back up and going. Thank God nobody was hurt. That's one of the things. But you had a lot of stuff in there. Tell some of the people the stuff.
Well,
just some of the stuff that you had.
Well, first of all, this Red's Barbershop wouldn't be anything that it is without my dad. He's the one that started it.
I think more your mom, but okay, we'll get you dead.
But my mom, she took care of both of us. But anyways, my dad, he started it, and if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't have a job to go to. Even right now, working with him in Centerville. So I mean, I want it to come from people's hearts. So, if you want to donate, financially or whatever. But I'm perfectly capable of working. But I mean, to start it up again and
right. But the whole thing is to get back on your feet quicker than what it'd be to work it all again.
Exactly.
And that's what people are there for. That's everybody always says, "Oh, we're helping everybody outside of our country." How many times you hear that? A million times, right? Many times, oh, they're helping them over there again. They're helping them. Okay, here we are. It's our people. It's here. We're here. I've seen your ID. You're legal. You're. But sing it, man, sing it. But you worked hard. Your dad worked hard, and to keep this going. And sometimes it takes a little money. And people are going to say, well, and they're going to say it. They're perfectly assured. Not for this stuff. The stuff you had inside, the album covers. I remember the Kiss. I know you're a big Kiss fan. I remember Kiss, and not so much the Dallas Cowboy stuff. We can do without that stuff. We're planning on putting Eagles stuff in this back in this book. But no, the album covers, and man, I remember the model airplanes that you had hanging up on the ceiling and all kinds of stuff. And like I said, it's been a little while since I've been in it. Probably 2-3 years anyway since I know I've been up there in it. But everything was done up so cool, when you came in, the vintage stuff that was in there as well. Some of the chairs, the vintage chairs and stuff. It's stuff you can't replace. I mean, they don't even make that stuff anymore. So the stuff that you have to get costs a lot more money, more than what's covered, and you can't replace a lot of that stuff. But I know a lot of people out there, hey, album covers. Stuff that old album covers from the 60s, 70s. I remember you had Frank Sinatra hanging up in there. Then you went for Journey and Foreigner and all the
Van Halen, Prince,
Van Halen, everything. Yeah, there you go. And
but those things, music. I mean, the vinyl albums and stuff like that. I mean, That's not a big deal. It's mostly just the tools and the things that get the barbershop going. You know, the things that I need to work.
Yeah.
Those are the.
But I'm saying,
but I understand what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It's like people. It's almost like walking into not a museum. I'm going to say it like a vintage feel good place, a place to feel good to get you. Right. Not just every day. Not like these barbershops that are in Dairy. What's that Dairy Road? What's it called down there? What's that Eddie's barbershop? Like that guy.
Yeah. Don't go over there.
Don't go to that place. No, he got celebrities. but yeah. And that's your brother, by the way. Making fun of him.
No, everybody go to. I mean, if you're in the Rayford Sawdust area, Spring, Woodlands, go to that one. Go to my brother's shop.
Go to the brother's shop. That's right. But
I love him.
Yeah, no, he's crazy. Eddie's barbershop. But I know, and I don't want to sound. How can I put it without sounding like we're begging? I'm begging people. It's just if you have a heart and you want to see this place get back up again, a cornerstone of Madison County, cornerstone of America, or whatever. Hey, drop a couple bucks. I'm going to set something up on our station. People send it to me, and then we will go directly up there. And I'm not going to even put it in Matt's pocket. Me and him will go on a shopping spree, go get the stuff we need. You know what I mean? And by the time it's done, it'll be a burger shop.
I'll take a number 2.
Cheeseburger. Number 2 with a crew cut, please. You get fries. I got hair in my fries. But that would be something else. No, if you can help out in any way, a buck or two or 10 or 20 or 50, 1,000, whatever you can do to get this place back up again. And I saw it. I was shocked because I saw it on NBC News.
Yeah,
and then it was on Fox News and it was on Univision. And it's all over the place. But these cornerstone places need to be put back to where they be. And I know the owners of the building are doing a great service by working with you to get it back up and going again.
I want to thank the owners of the whole place, the shopping strip center and the place that I was at, the Blairs, Jamie Propane. Those people are
they're great people.
God sent.
Yeah,
and they've been there even when my dad started it. And they're just.
They were there when I was at KUZN.
They're stand-up people, and then I know that's why, and the people that came to the shop, I love Madisonville.
Yeah.
That's my home away. Well, I live in Centerville, but I mean Madisonville is kind of my home too. Where I live in 2 places.
Yeah.
I'm there working, but I consider it my home too, and a lot of people they were asking me to come back and everything, and rebuild, and I'm like, yeah. So I got to make Madisonville look beautiful. I got to rebuild it.
Yeah, because there's some ugly people up there.
I'm like, no.
There's a lot of people who need some haircut. In fact, some of them need to let it grow, like right over their face, man. Just let it grow. I love you up there. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, thanks for stopping down here.
And no problem. I've never been out here, and it's nice out here.
Down here in the county.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Matagorda and where we go?
Matagorda, Bay City.
Bay City, but I never
Matagorda, Bay City. Yep, Wadsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I took him for the little tour, the mini tour of Matagorda County. Next time you come down here, I'll let you guys meet the judge, Judge Nate and stuff. It'll be a lot of. Oh, you want to? Red wants to speak now. Come on, Red. By the way, the world's oldest barber in the United States. 147 years old. It's so great.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey there, Red.
Hey, listen, I just want to say a few words.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you for this interview with my son.
Sure.
I just want the people to know where we come from.
Yeah.
I went to school and graduated from Barber College in 1962
Jesus.
in Houston. And my first business that I started as a barber was in 1970. And throughout the years of this coming August, it will be 60 years since I've been a barber.
Wow.
And I've owned quite a few barbershops all over Houston.
Right.
plus I opened one of the shops in the Woodlands in 1985, and the one in Madisonville, I opened that business in 2004. And in 2008, I have two sons, Eddie Paez Jr., my oldest son, and Matthew Paez, my younger son. Mm-hmm. And in 2008, I had to go to the doctor and take a physical because my wife suggested that, and thank God that she did.
I was there that time.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. And that's when they found that I had pancreatic cancer.
Right.
And I did go and have surgery, but thank God that I didn't have to take chemotherapy or radiation, not even a pill, after the surgery. So that was a miracle within itself.
Right.
And then they found that I had sarcoma cancer in one of my arms. And after the surgery, the doctor told me that for sure he knew that I didn't have cancer left because the tumor, I'm going to use this word, it jumped out of my arm.
Yeah.
And he says, so you don't have to worry. So I didn't have chemo or radiation. And that wasn't the last of it. Not too long after that, I also had prostate cancer. Yep. Even though I went through surgery, I didn't have to have chemotherapy or radiation, not even a pill, till today. It was a miracle of God.
Yeah.
But when they tell you that you have pancreatic cancer, the first thing that comes to your mind is, I'm dead. I'm gone.
You're done, right?
But that's when I gave my son, Eddie Jr., the shop in the Woodlands in 2008, and I gave the shop in Madisonville to my son, Matthew, there in Madisonville. Anyway, and after I found out 12, 13, I forget now how long it's been, since 2008 till now, when I found out that, hey, I didn't die. Look here, 12, 15, 14 years. I don't even know, 14 years. So I decided to go ahead and open another business in Centerville, where I live.
And you're 70.
I am 70 years old now.
70.
76. I'm sorry.
No, 76. You told me.
76 years old now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I've been cutting hair, like I said, 60 years.
Steadiest hand in the East.
I'm doing great. I am doing.
This
great.
hand is great. It's this one I'm worried about.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one we're not going to talk about.
The right one that shakes a lot. Tell me you want a left-handed cut. That's
but things do happen for a reason. Yes. We sometimes want to know why. That's okay. We don't need to know. God knows what's going on. Right. But even though the business was blown away, I'll have to say, one of the things that I wanted to say is that I thank God that my son Matthew, he's alive, because when we heard about the tornado coming towards Madisonville, I told my wife, let's get in the car, get out of here, go spend the night in the Woodlands with my brother. I picked up the phone, called my son Matthew, you better get in the car, go to the Woodlands and spend the night. And he says, no, I'm going to stay here because I want to be here to go to work next day, because it's supposed to flood around the Woodlands and Houston area. I says, no, it's more important. Your life is more important for you to get up and get out of there.
That's right.
Well, he normally keeps or kept one of those recliners right in the front of the building by the window where the tornado came in and busted the whole shop inside.
Yep.
I mean, he would have been dead. He wouldn't be here.
Right.
So the next day, I could tell he wanted to cry. I says, what's wrong, son? He says, Dad, he says, I feel bad because I've seen how hard you've worked to give me and my brother the businesses and all that you've given us. Right. For this thing to happen overnight, to lose everything. Yeah. I said, son, no, don't feel that way. It wasn't you. You had nothing to do with it.
Right. Tell your hands.
And thank God that you're alive.
Yeah.
So, yes, he lost everything in the business. And it will take money to redo. The landlords are nice enough that they want to rebuild. But my son is going to have to buy all of the equipment because everything was gone.
Yeah.
He had 3 employees there, and they lost everything. So I want to thank you, Jeff. I want to thank you for interviewing my son and giving him the opportunity and me to express the how we feel, and to thank him for whatever happens.
Yeah.
It's in God's hands.
I always said radio's not here for people to get on and complain to a lot of people about. It's for the people to get on and try to get help from other people that are out there. And you know, radio has spent enough time in complaining and everything and wrong going on in the world and stuff like that.
Yes.
But it's also a great outreach center for people who are out there that are listening that can help and want to help.
Yes.
And I know the people in the past, you know, we did, and if everybody remembers, a few years back we did a drive for kids with toys, and there were almost 500 kids that needed toys.
Yes, sir.
And that was for the kids that were abused and stuff up in Wharton. And they handed me 500 names, and I said, "Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, but we'll give it a shot." Right. And this county came out, and I had enough toys, not for 1 toy for each kid, 6 toys for each kid.
Wow.
500 kids to take care of them. Because I got on there and said it how it is. And you got to get on and say how it is. You can't sugarcoat nothing. You don't put it out. These kids needed help.
Right.
Now they're taken care of. They need help. Now it's your guys' turn. You guys are the ones that need help. Yes. And just because it's not in our back door and it's not at our doorstep, it's in the state of Texas.
Yes.
You know, if everybody, Texans are Texans. You know, I learned that when I moved here. There's no more Yankee. Don't forget it. You're a Texan. That's it.
Exactly.
And you got to go by the Texas rule of law. And what I noticed in Texas more than just about any other state in the union is that everybody in Texas comes together to help each other.
Right.
And it needs to be that way. We leave here to go to Louisiana to help over there. Louisiana, same way. They'll come over here and help us.
Yes.
You know, so this is a business that's been around for a long time. This is a family business. It's not, you know, a big corporate entity business.
No, sir.
It's a business that, you know, works a paycheck week to week, day to day, you know, in order to make the money. So I'm asking everybody, while Red's sitting here, you know, like I said, we're going to put something up on our website. You can go to one of 2 places. You can go to www.gulfcoast1radio.com. We'll have something up there. Also, you can go to Gulf Coast 1 Radio .GoDaddySites.com. Both websites. You can go there, and we'll also have something set up on our Facebook page on Gulf Coast 1 Radio. So it'll be set up there. Red, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too.
You look better. You look better now than I think you did 10, 20 years ago. You remember when I had you up in the ring, Red?
Yes, sir.
And I was going to toss you in there and start beating on you?
Yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah, but you and your buddy won. Yeah, Doug. And I grabbed that. Where it gets this little toupee thing on the top of his head.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, he didn't super glue it that day. He let me grab him.
I was so embarrassed that day.
You were not. you were jumping up and down for joy that I got my butt handed to me. Oh, man, those were the days. But you know what? Make this happen, guys. Just make something happen. Find in your heart to help these folks get back on their feet, do what they need to do, and you know, you want to talk about Donald Trump saying "Make America Great Again"? Make America beautiful again by donating to Red's Barbershop. All right, that's what you got to do. Right, Red, thank you. Matt, thank you very much. Gang, we're going to wrap up things in just a minute right here on Gulf Coast 1 Radio and Inside Texas. Don't go away.
Your home may have damage covered under your homeowner's insurance policy. Don't trust your insurance company's opinion on what you're entitled to. Let the experts at All Pro Claim Services conduct a free, no-obligation home inspection. We work for you, not the insurance company, and don't get paid unless you do. We can help even if you have been unfairly denied or underpaid. The insurance company has experts representing their best interests. Shouldn't you? Call me personally, Hunter Kennedy, at 979-200-2018. 979-200-2018.
Yes, make sure you check it out. It's the all-new Corner Deli and Taqueria in Wadsworth, Texas. I'm telling you, you got to go down there and check it out, okay? You wouldn't notice it from the outside. There's not even a sign out there yet, but everybody on Facebook and people around the area know it's a great place to go. If you want beer battered chicken habanero chicken sandwich, that's a place to go. If you want a meatball sandwich from Philadelphia or to New York, you want the real deal, that's where you got to go. It's the Corner Deli and Taqueria at 309 Highway 60 in Wadsworth, Texas, inside the Citgo gas station. Make sure that you check it out, all right? And we're going to take a call, okay, right now, and we're back, and we're live. Yes, hello?
Are you really live?
No,
like live?
No, I'm almost dead.
Well, I mean, that's just usual then. This is your favorite ex-emergency management coordinator from Wharton County.
Well, no, you're not. You're not our ex one here. You're not. You may be.
No, but Mr. Retired here. We'll just put it that
yes,
way. Yes, but I wanted to tell you some great things about Madison County.
Yeah.
Because there's the emergency management coordinator up there. Her name is Shelley Butts.
Yes.
She. Madison County's it's a shade under 500 square miles.
Right.
They've got less than 14,000 people in it.
That's right.
And they're surrounded by, they've got Huntsville on one side in Walker County. They've got Bryan College Station on one side in Brazos County.
Yep.
Hell, they got a quarter of a million Aggies next to them.
Yeah.
They got enough problems before the tornado hit.
Yeah, that's right. They did.
They're going to get help from the state of Texas with businesses and with the individuals, and that help is going to be coming in about the speed of a sloth on Valium.
Andy, you always have a way with words, buddy.
It's going to take forever, especially the business portion of that,
Yeah.
to where they will get help. And the help that they're going to get, it's not like the state of Texas is going to come out and start writing checks and say, here, we want to get you back and get you on your feet. No, That doesn't work that way.
Right.
They're going to come in and say, well, you can get SBA loans and you can do this. And
Right.
It takes a long time for that to happen.
Well, a lot of the stuff from a lot of the stuff from Harvey, the money is still coming in from that.
Oh, hell, we're still working on buyouts up here.
Right, exactly.
With some of the individuals. I mean, it's so I'm really glad that you're doing this, because I do remember when you raised a bunch of money. Not just you had talked about the Christmas thing on the interview, but
right.
you did a thing to where you gave us a check in Wharton County for
$2,000.
I don't know, multiple $1,000s.
Yes.
That I remember.
Yep.
To just help get people fed, get them back in their homes, get them where people opened up their hearts and their wallets and said, okay, let's help our neighbors.
Right.
Madison may not be right next to us, but like you said, they're still Texans, and they're great folks up there.
That's right. I don't care
And,
what.
I can't wait to see how you're going to be able to do this, because I'm looking forward to, throwing my dollar or two up that way.
Yeah.
Because I certainly want to try to help those folks.
They're
good people.
I probably wouldn't get to know you. I wouldn't get to know anybody down here, because I wouldn't, if I wasn't in radio, I wouldn't even got to know those guys. And to be able to know that the original Michaels in the Morning show, the crazy show that we invented, was invented right there next door to Red's Barbershop. And I said the story. I say it a million times. There is a lot of crazy stuff that went on here. Gerald Proctor was the owner of the station. He was 170 years old. He's still kicking. He's probably 210 now. I think he used to babysit George Washington. That's how old the guy is. But he's been in radio all his life, and he said, "Hey, run with it. Run with it." I'd see the guy once a month at the station. He'd come in. He'd moan, groan because he was 100 years old. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. We did it, and we built that station up, and man, we all had a blast. It was like one big happy family, and that's the way it was at Reds. Everybody met there. That's where we went, And all the characters got people that played in the bands, the mayor, the judges, the councilmen, everybody. They went to Red's Barbershop, and that's where we started gathering people for the show, and it was great, and it carried on down here. There's still people that I talked to when I was on Happy Radio, and now on Gulf Coast One and Bay City Radio. They still are the same people from up there we used to have on the radio. The guy that used to call in.
That's cool.
The guy that used to call in about the Bigfoot, You know, that his, you know, he's been searching for Bigfoot. Him and his mama were searching for Bigfoot. You know, still calls me today. Heath Nealon, he was a youth pastor, had a youth church, and just crazy. He did wrestling. He was Nacho Libre. That's what he went by. He's, you know, Nacho, you know, and I would tell him it's Nacho business, and you know, so we had a lot of fun. The wrestling actually came back to East Texas from Red's Barbershop. We sat and talked about it. So there was a lot of things that happened, and I'd like to see, you know, the guys get the help they need in order to get back in business. And you're right, Madison County, you know, is a great county. I know her very well, and it's just it's a shame what happened. After hearing the weather guy talk last night on the news, saying that Tornado Alley has moved south. You know, the tornadoes are going to move farther south than they normally did, just because of the shift of everything. It's, you know, it's gonna be a mess for a little while. We're in spring, and this is the worst time of the year for these things to happen, and it could happen to anybody. So, you know, it just so happens that it's somebody that I know, and you know, even if I didn't know, but you know, when I saw this happen, I got a phone call from an ex-police officer there in Madisonville, David Sims, who was working in South Texas, and texted me at 7:30 in the morning to say, see what happened to Reds. And I didn't. And I turned on the news, and boom, there was Matt on Channel 2 News, you know, and it's something else, you know, but we're here to get the word out. That's our job in radio. Just, you know, it's like you, Andy. You have helped me and saved, oh my God, just, you know, tons of people, you know, by just getting on the air and saying, stay away from here, don't go there, the weather's going to be this, hunker down, do what you got to do. I mean, you know the situation. I mean, you've been in emergency management, and you've seen people in crisis like this before.
It sounds like the folk, like Red's Barbershop was almost like Floyd's Barbershop in Mayberry.
In Mayberry, yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, it was like the hub.
Yep.
Where people would go in, like you said, you'd catch up on your news, you did everything. They knew everybody would come in. That's the type of America that we all want to have.
Yes.
That, you know, to where you get back to where, let's sit down to where we can discuss things and not just be so divisive, and that's the good part of America, and that's what we want to work towards. And so I'm looking forward to trying to help there.
Yeah.
One other thing you had talked about earlier was Glenn Hager.
Yes.
Our comptroller.
Yes.
Glenn Hager used to be the state senator for Wharton and Matagorda County.
Right.
And that man was a bulldog.
Yeah.
And when we had problems one time, Nate got Glenn Hager to come down and talk with us because they wanted to take out the Emergency Operations Center in Pierce, which, of course, was where the South Texas Nuclear Project was directly tied into.
Right.
And Glenn came down and said, nope, and he jumped on emergency management at the state level, and he dug in. And he was taking no prisoners.
Right.
And the people at emergency management of the state called us and said, get this man off my ass. We're scared.
Yeah.
And so Glenn Hager's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he so far, I like what he's doing as a comptroller, but I loved it when he came down here because, boy, he took up for us, and he went straight to bat, and he's a good guy, and it was really good that Nate was good friends with it, too, to be able to get him to come down and say, we need a little bit of help down here.
Yeah. And
that's what a good state senator does. And that's what Lois did when she was our senator, and,
right.
and so
Ms. Colkhurst,
now we're going to lose her, and we're going to start again.
Yeah, changing of the areas again, just crazy.
That's it. That's it.
Hey,
I just want to chime in and say, you know, I love what you're doing. This is great. Let's all get together and help them out.
Yep.
Because they'll get help eventually.
Yeah.
But boy, it'll take forever, and a lot of businesses fold up because it takes so long to get that help to them.
It does. It really, really does. They need our help, and you know, when if they want to get back after they get their stuff, that's fine. But you know, that's a year or two down the road before they even get that help. Hey, real quick question for you, Andy. Isn't Hager married to one of the Bush's kids?
I do not know.
Because Jenna Bush's last name, Jenna, who does the Today Show, her last name is Hager. Jenna Bush Hager.
but I don't think that's the same. I might be completely wrong. I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
Well, I'll ask him.
That's above my pay grade.
I'll ask him. He's gonna be.
I'm happy to stay married with who I got. I ain't gonna worry about everybody else.
No,
that's a full-time job here.
Yeah,
to keep deceiving my wife to thinking that this is a good marriage.
Yes. Yeah, I put the blinders on. I don't see anything. I don't know nothing.
Me either. I'm like that Sergeant Schultz there. I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Oh boy.
Well, thank you, Andy.
Keep up the good work over there, and I'll be watching your website there to see when you get a thing set up so we can help out.
All right, it's on Facebook.
That's a good thing.
It's on Facebook now. I did post it up on my Facebook page, so there is a link there for you able to go to. So,
okay, yeah, and I haven't seen that. I was on your website.
Yeah, I'll have it. We'll put it up. Yep.
Flip over to the Facebook page.
Right, we're going to link it.
And you, by the way, you were correct in that. Right now, like we've got another trough that's going to be coming in the first part of next week. It's going to stay north of us. That's going to be right back in that same area.
Yeah.
Where they've had the bad weather before, all the way from, because my son-in-law is a patrol sergeant in Round Rock, and they got hit by that tornado. The tornado that actually hit Madisonville had hit College Station and just kind of skipped over it, and that's what wound up going into Madisonville. We were watching all of those real close. So,
yeah, they were calling it the Highway 21 tornado.
Yes, and that's where that came from.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, it started around Fentress, if you know where that is, down by Seguin.
Yep.
And went up there, and it didn't stay on the ground that long, but it hit, and it stayed ugly. That is just mean the whole time. So we're in that. It's in springtime.
Yeah.
So make sure that you've got the scariest thing about springtime tornadoes is that so often in our area they hit at night.
Yes.
People need to be sure that they can get weather warnings more than 2 ways.
Yeah.
So that if you have to have your phone next to you, next to a NOAA weather radio, next to be sitting there and just listening to Jeff Michaels all day long.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do, you're going to need that warning because you're not going to have much. Because these storms right now, when they're getting caught in that jet stream, they're moving 50, 60 miles an hour, and you don't have much warning.
Yep.
So
yeah, they come quick.
Have a couple of ways to get those storm warnings, please.
Yep, and I'm trying to keep an eye. When it starts getting south of I-10 here, that's when we buzz in and start talking about it. So, but anyway, thank you, Andy. I appreciate all your information. I appreciate all your help, and continue with your help.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Andy.
And I'll be coming down for tacos here soon.
Oh, you bet it, brother.
Well, as soon as I get past tax season, I can. I plan on living on the road between here and Matagorda.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Well,
you'll go right past our place every time you go to Matagorda. So
I'll be looking for the Citgo in Wadsworth.
In Wadsworth, there you go, buddy. All right.
All right, brother.
Thanks.
Y'all take care of yourself.
You too. Thank you, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye-bye. There you go. Andy Kirkland, the man.
Message from our chief meteorologist.
Andy Kirkland, that's right. He climbs the pole, he drinks the beer, but he always gives me an accurate weather forecast. So anyway, so if you get a chance, by the way, folks, the GoFundMe account is on the Facebook page. We will put it on our website. I will have it up there tomorrow. But right now it's all over the Facebook page. It's on Gulf Coast One Radio. It's on the Jeff Michaels Facebook page. And we'll get as much information out as we can to you. So, Hunter, happy birthday once again, sir.
Thank you, sir.
21st, huh?
21st, the big 2-1.
Get to buy the man a beer. Get him a beer. That's the way it is. And to Mitch, I thought that's who was calling there for a minute. But it wasn't. Mitch was on assignment doing something else, but he will be back next week. And thank you for holding the fort down with me. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, thank you for listening to Gulf Coast One Radio and Inside Texas. Yes?
Michael's in the morning coming back.
Oh, yeah. Michael's in the morning. By the way, just to give you a little tidbit, Michael's in the morning is coming back. It's not going to be on every morning, but we're going to do a show and do some crazy stuff. We got stuff we're going to give away. We got food we're going to give away. We got a cruise for 2 we're going to give away again. All kinds of other stuff. So on behalf of myself, Jeff Michaels, Mitch Thames, and Hunter Kennedy, the 21-year-old bombshell, who is single, ladies, just by the way, just take a look over here quick. That's him.
Well,
That's a dead
me.
picture. That's a dead picture. Anyway, that's what I was going to go out with. I forgot it was over there. Anyway, have yourselves a great night, and we'll see you next time right here on Inside Texas.